Dolphins, Jets. Jets open up at -5.5. There are 5.5s on the board and 5s. This total opened up at 43.5. Now at 45. The Dolphins are playing for Flores, and they're playing with pride, and I'm shocked that I'm not guaranteed the under 5.5 win total. I'm shocked. They're playing with a ton of pride. They like Flores. And the question is whether the Jets bounce back after a loss to the Bengals. The Dolphins were impressive against the Eagles. Fitzpatrick is showing that he can play and will have a job again next year from somebody, from some team. Dolphins, Jets, I lean Dolphins, and I lean over. The Jets just play so much different when they're at home, and that's what gives me pause. Donnie Rightside, take it away. Dolphins, Jets.
Yeah, one of those classic games, Jimmy, of what did we just see? Oh, my God, Adam Gase's going to get fired. They lost to the lonely Bengals who haven't won. And, now you go back to the Miami Dolphins. Look at them playing with pride. Brian Flores has this team's going in the right direction. But when you take a look at these games, I don't think the Jets all played particularly that well. But they're going to come back home. And I was really shocked that game stayed under the total. Jumped the line early in the week at 39.5, closed at 43.5. Thought I had it in my pocket. I'm saying, what the hell is going on in the second half from the Jets? But also in that football game, keep in mind, for some reason, Cincinnati kept getting to the 50-yard line and punting the Jets deep in their own territory. We'll see if that continues this week. But if you watch the Miami Dolphins Philadelphia Eagles game, it was a great comeback. It was a Fitzpatrick type of game. But when you watched, the Dolphins made every single big play that they needed to make in that football game to run the Eagles up the flagpole with 37 points. That's not going to happen every week. And the Jets, to me, overall, have a better defense than the Philadelphia Eagles do. And the Miami Dolphins are heading back on the road. And also one of those circle the wagon type games for Adam Gase, because he's going to be put on notice. Honestly, if he loses again to the Miami Dolphins, he's not surviving this year. I think the Jets overall have much, much more talent than the Miami Dolphins, and I think they can rebound at home here, taking those fins, going into colder temperatures on the road. I don't think Fitzmagic continues here. I like the Jets in this game, Jimmy.
The Sports 78's already put $3K on the Dolphins money line, a big boy bet. A big boy bet from the Sport 78. That's the balls that I guess we were referring to earlier in the show. Man! Whale Capper, take it away. Dolphins, Jets, and what do you think about the over? And I'm trying to not let that ludicrous game against the Eagles push me into that direction, because we've seen it open up at 43.5, now at 45. Dolphins, Jets, Whale Capper, take it away.
Yeah, and a lot of the same way that my commentary about the Bengals was they've been rewarded for taking chances. Well, triple that for the Dolphins. They're playing a very chaotic style of football. They're going for it in places you wouldn't normally go for it. They're going for home runs, which is either creating short fields for their opponents or getting them surprise touchdowns. And I would say that entirely, there's really no reason not to think that this is a short total here, even though this is a divisional matchup. They've played each other relatively recently. There's familiarity. Obviously, this is a Jets offense that found some form later in this season. They no-showed against Cincinnati, but it's not entirely surprising when you have such a young offense that's really out of the playoff hunt and coming off of a holiday weekend where they were at home patting themselves in the back for how great they'd been for a couple weeks. So it was a flat spot for the Jets. They looked at, I think Donnie's point about them consistently being pinned was noteworthy, and I don't mind a Dolphins money line, especially given the injuries that the Jets are dealing with. I doubt we see Jamal Adams. I think that's hugely important. In fact, the Jets might be without, 3 or 4 of their starting secondary. So this is a potential for a track meet. And 44, we could see that number by halftime, seriously.
Wow. Wow, by halftime. Wow. Feels like a trigger should be pulled. If you have a free play on the side here, Whale Capper, what's your move?
I'm probably looking for the Dolphins just because of the Jets' injuries right now in the secondary. I think the Dolphins get to 30 again. They're just playing with reckless abandon. It's crazy to see it. I think it's catching teams by surprise. Caught the Jets by surprise the first time they played them. I really don't know that there's much the Jets are going to be able to do defensively to stymie the way that this team is playing right now. I think your points about Ryan Fitzpatrick were legit too. Like, he's going to get another chance next year as a starting quarterback somewhere. This is a weird franchise. It's a weird team right now, but they're playing disciplined football and they're pulling out innovative plays and tricks like we haven't seen in the NFL. So, give them the benefit of the doubt until proven otherwise.
Yeah, very interesting game. I think I should just pull the trigger on the over right now is what I should do, is pull the trigger on the over right now. I will do that very quickly here. Jets, Dolphins getting, it's not worth the 12 cents for 44.5. I will take over 45 at minus 105. That's available at both Five Dimes and Heritage. Over 45 at minus 105. That's my second look. First look was the Giants team total over 20.5. And that Lions team total over 13.5 might be something I bag shortly. It's just that it's being hammered at my book and it's at minus 138, which is giving me pause.